There we go. Okay, now let's get a chat window. Here's this one. Alrighty. So today I am accepting a drawing challenge. I don't know if it's a challenge. Invitation? Don't know that there's a way to fail. So draw this in your style. Alrighty, so start there, go with a light color. Actually, with this color. Alright, now what am I doing? Let's get a brush. And let's make it a bit smaller. Let's get a slightly darker color. Huh, I see. Get to drawing. Oh, right. The chat. There it is. Nobody here. 2 people viewing. 1 person viewing. All right, here we go. Alrighty. The challenge will be actually drawing it in my style and not just copying the thing that I'm looking at. Alrighty, so let's just get a general impression of the pose. And then start with the normal figure construction method. Like, this character's got very narrow hips compared to her shoulders, but she still looks very thin and feminine, which is, you know, it's a stylistic approach that I wouldn't think to do if I weren't looking at this image. But I am looking at the image. And I often draw the heads, you know, comically, cartoonishly large, as this one has, but not to this degree usually. So again, you know, when it says, draw this in your style, what's this? I mean, just the outfit and pose and color palette. But even the color palette's not really my style, so who knows? I don't know. Let's just keep at it. Meow. Mm-hmm. At this point, I really should just stop looking at this other image and take it off the screen, but I can't yet because I need to get enough of the details consistent that it's clear that I've participated in the exercise. Like her limbs are really stretched out compared to how I would draw. Anybody here yet? Nope, nobody here. All right. So I'll just keep drawing. See, that's not my style. Big eyes like that. And big nose. Ah. Okay. Let's just get rid of that whole thing. Yes, that is a song by Korn, and I'm humming. It's part of my... I'm tempted to say gym playlist, but it's not really a playlist. It's just a collection of songs that I draw upon at the gym. There, I keep erasing part of the background. All right. Now we got to zoom in. Nope, that doesn't work in this program. I think it's time to go over to Clip Studio Paint to do this. Question is, do I just start over there, or do I cut and paste this and take it over there? Actually, the question is, why am I talking about it and not doing it? I'm just going to start over there, I think. I'm not digging that. So who will be the first to arrive? I'm guessing Ed. All right. What's today's date? 10/23. Okay, can we lock this? How can we, let's see. Well, all right, let's get the tabmate fired up. Oh, let's get the chat back. Be nice if the chat, hey, it's Ed, had some sort of notification sound. May I please have some away from keyboard time to go make morning coffee? Well, of course. I don't control your morning, Ed. Do as you will. Do as you do. Looks like she's sitting on an airplane wing, doesn't it? There's a shadow right there. Is that the shadow of the plane over here? Anyway, she's got a bunch of hair, a bunch of very nice hair. Now we can zoom in on that face. And she's very happy. So not that. How to capture the expression without aping the style? I just don't know. I guess one way is to just not look at the reference material. So she's looking up and to her left and she's smiling. I'll just go with that. I don't know who this character is. I don't know how important it is to copy the shape of her nose. Hey, Les is here. Hello, Les. So we have a Discord server now that Ed set up. I don't really know how to make use of it though. My experience with Discord is quite limited. Okay, I can see what I've done here. Giving her more forehead and less lower face. I think my solution is going to be let's see. We're having an Indian summer day here today. Do you get that in Europe? Use the template for the general outline of the body, then use your own creativity. No, we don't have Indians' summers. We have Russian winters, though. Kasparov wrote a book called Winter is Coming about Kremlin international meddling. All right. What else we got? And last night, Joe Biden said, a dark winter is coming. Yeah, he did. What was he talking about? You know, I watched most of the debate, but I found it rather annoying. So, I think at 10, I basically turned it off and called Rose. Or texted Rose and asked if she wanted to talk. Speaking of whom, she will not be joining us on the chat today. So next week she'll be back, I hope. Let's see. Now, one place where I will be slavishly copying is the design of the shoe. Let's just do a barefoot first. What do we got? I'm a bit annoyed today. Spent all my money for the week on a budget, and all I left myself from yesterday to eat is some bok choy and bean sprouts. I guess tomorrow will be a good day for me to start the fast. Fasting does save money on grocery bills, that's for sure. All right. So her extended limbs are part of that artist's style, and I've copied it. Didn't really intend to, but I have. Maybe Ed Biden just finished watching the Game of Thrones series. It's scary, though. Biden's clearly got dementia. It's written all over the expressions on his face. I like how Camo skims my contents first before reading them out loud. His brain freezes don't scare me. I think he's surrounded by smart, capable people, says Ed. Smart man, wary of what I might say next. All right, so... Well, it's no secret. I cannot stand Joe Biden, but largely it's not because of his, cognitive decline, which I think I agree with Les is pretty evident. But it's because of the policies that he championed for decades before his mental decline. Now that he's kind of lost the thread, I'm not so much angry with him, but I don't think it's wise to have him as president. Huh. All right. So notice in this drawing over here, the shoulders go like that, but, people have trapeziuses. I guess that including it makes a feminine figure look too masculine. I don't know. But I'll minimize it for this drawing. Ugh, I don't like those, but I'll try again in the sketch stage. This is just the rough stage. Okay, so she needs to be pointier. And she's wearing, looks like leggings, you know, tight-fitting like yoga pants, but with the patterns of blue jeans stitched into them or dyed onto them or something. Alright, so let's turn that down. Do a sketch layer on top. Or do I just jump to ink? No, we'll do a sketch layer. And let's check the chat. What we got? Whoa, way back. Haha, missed a lot. Okay. Ed, yes, smart and capable. Best crooks in the world are also smart and capable. There is talk of making Bernie Sanders Labor Secretary. Well, we don't have a Labor Secretary. I guess we do. What am I saying? Of course we do. And yes, I write labor with a U. I didn't even notice. Let's see. A socialist labor secretary? That's like making Wolf a sheepdog. Hello, Rodney. I guess you also write color. Color. But I'll be the first to tell you, Ed, there is no honor in spelling words incorrectly. Sup, Rod? I find the article about Sanders being considered for cabinet role and shared it on Discord. Okay, so Ed, talk to us of the Discord. So I'm not really sure how to make use of it. I think Rod has a peculiarly funny name. Huh. I can't speak for Rodney, but I think he's on the East Coast. It's very early in the morning in California right now. KMO stands for Kevin Michael O'Connor. All right. So, Rodney, I may have been zoomed in the whole time you've been here, but today's this is a challenge from an artist on Instagram. Draw this in your style. So that's what I'm doing. Probably doesn't have belt loops. All right. Something like that. Okay. What do we got here? We're learning about Discord, the Discord together. I live in New York. Yep, that makes sense. New York City or upstate? I created a server called Out of Our Heads. The server has text channels. Hey, I've got a link, so I will post the link here. Where is it? Ed the Willing. Oh. Huh. There it is. All right, everybody. Here is the link to the Discord server. No, that's definitely not it. All right, let's delete that. Can I? I don't think so. All right. Ed, you sent me this by Twitter, and Twitter doesn't want to let me copy the Discord address. Would you just send me the address to the Discord server via email? And then post in the chat when you've done it. I'll check my email. Let's see. The server has text channels and a voice channel. I'm trying to make you, KMO, the owner of the server, but I think you must be logged into Discord. I haven't found that option yet. I think I am logged into Discord. Let's see, here's my Discord window. I think I am logged into Discord. Let's see, here's my Discord window. I think I am logged into Discord. Let's see, here's my Discord window. I think I am logged into Discord. Let's see, here's my Discord window. I think I am logged into Discord. All right, mute. Got a little feedback, little loop going there. Okay. So maybe this will be of help. Here's me on Discord. Palantir. What are you talking about now? Let's see. Oh, there's a message from Ed. I hope. No. Still waiting for an email from Ed. All right. Multiple channels can be created for specific subtopics, but you want to be careful with that so as to not have attention diluted and divided too much. We can see how many channels we can have open simultaneously and still function. I'm $35 richer this morning because Palantir declared that they have a federal contract to track coronavirus vaccine distribution. Are you an investor in Palantir? KMO should start putting in subliminal sexual innuendos into his cartoons, just like Disney and some others do, if he hasn't already. I think that could become his niche. So here's the deal, Les. I used to do openly pornographic comics. And then I got married and had kids and felt kind of sketchy doing that. So I don't anymore. But, you know, yeah, I could get sexier with it for sure. I've heard of Palantir, yeah. Let's see. Link me, ye server. Okay. Okay. Make it so. Number one, reflexivity overload. Working on the email situation. Please stand by. Okay. Well, then I shall return to drawing. Rodney, the link is coming soon. Let's go to ink. I think we're ready for ink. Layer, new vector layer. We will call it ink. And I like the G pen. Just the standard out of the box, nothing special about it, G pen. And let's go back to 15. Yeah, maybe that's a little fat. How about a little 12? Yeah. Okay, it is sent, says Ed. So going back to Gmail, Edward, there we are. Discord link. Alrighty. Back to the chat. Here is the Discord link. I'll click on it and we'll see what happens. Out of our heads, accept invite. Here, I'll throw this up on the screen you guys can see. What's new? New features. I'm going to assume I don't have to mess with any of this. Come on. There's my cursor. It's hard to move the mouse cursor from the Surface Pro over here to the Cintiq. Okay. Welcome screen. Set up a personalized welcome screen for you. Yeah. Announcement channels. These are special channels that enable you to broadcast messages beyond the server. Users can follow your announcement channels. Okay. Discovery. I'm not going to read all this right now. Okay. Hey, here we are. 3 messages. All right. Let me suggest that we keep the text over on YouTube, but how do we get a voice chat going here, Ed? What do we do? Well, I see my mic is muted. We'll unmute. Check, check, check. Am I going to hear an echo now? No. Okay. Well, maybe I will, like in 90 seconds or something. And Ed, you're the one with you're the M hat, Montreal, right? Hello, YouTube. I am Edward Casimir. Okay. So Ed, you just put that in the Discord chat, but you said hello, YouTube. Why did you think you're addressing YouTube? Oh, well, I guess because I've got the chat on screen here. So where's the voice channel? How do we do the voice? All right, well, we'll wait for further instructions from Ed, and I will return. Let's see. To this. Oh, I've given her a very pointy face compared to the original. Round it out a bit. Not sure I'm going to keep that ink line for the teeth. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm not. There we go. Actually, I'm going to do the details inside the jeans in the tone stage. Same with the socks. Not sure if these shoes are supposed to be Nikes, but I'm definitely not going to slavishly reproduce the Nike trademark swoosh. Alrighty. Okay. So clearly our light source is up here. Let's get to the color stage, I suppose. Turn off the rough, turn off the sketch. Am I missing anything? Well, I suppose I'll clean up the inking a bit before I get into the colors. Alright, yeah, how about some eyebrows? Yeah, now that I look at it, I'm not wild about the mouth. Okay, I'm not going to look at that mouth, though. Okay. Oh. Always telling me to get up and exercise. All right. do the color. Or I'll throw a U in there. Now, I am just going to steal colors right off this other drawing. We'll make that the base. Maybe, let's see, that will be the base flesh tone. Alright, except my style is to make it a bit more desaturated, kind of pastelish. Alrighty. Actually, gents, I am going to jump up, reheat my coffee, and stretch a little bit, and read the chat, and I'll be back to drawing in a couple minutes. Oh, hey Wesley, welcome aboard. You get a slight adrenaline rush from arguing? I think most people do. All right. Coffee's heating. Let's go back to Discord. Use Quick Switcher to get around Discord quickly. Just press Control K. You want to take full advantage of Discord with better performance, in-game overlay, and more? Get the desktop app. Okay, sure. Downloading now. Okay, Discord set up. ShareX, you need to go away. Downloading updates. Installing updates. All right, starting. Detecting account. Trying to detect a Discord account from your default browser. Give me just 1 second. It didn't get it. So we'll log in with QR code, scan this with the Discord mobile app to log in instantly. All right. Where do I even have Discord on my phone? I must. Yeah, there it is. All right. How do I scan it with the mobile app? Huh. Right. Okay. Log in with QR code. Scan this with Discord mobile app to log in instantly. How do I do that? Okay. Oh, here we are. Scan QR code. You were trying to log in on the computer? Yes, log me in. Okay. Ed, I am now logged into Discord on my Surface Pro here. Where's the phone, you said? It's in the lower left. I see a plus, I see a compass. Okay, let's go back to the Restream chat. Check on the left at second column bottom. Okay. So everybody, here's Discord. Streamer mode is enabled. Stay safe, friend. All right. Add a server. Explore public servers. Help me out, Ed. I do not see any place to chat with voice. Voice channels. You are looking for voice channels. Yes. Where? Where do you see that? This it? Check, check.
You're looking for voice channels.
Ah.
Where?
Okay, now Ed, you will need to mute your stream, your YouTube live stream. Else I will be hearing echoes of myself.
There we are.
Hey, there's Ed. Well, you're very distorted.
I think this is going through multiple channels.
Huh.
I'm going to turn off my microphone right now.
Okay. Check, check. Well, turning off your microphone kind of defeats the purpose of the voice chat, I think.
I just did it temporarily to prevent the echo effect.
Ah. I didn't hear any echo effect, but maybe that was just at your end. Okay. So, let's put this back over there. This as well. Okay. There we go. Back to this. All right, Ed, tell me something. Tell us something, because I guess everybody can hear you.
Hello, everybody. This is Edward. Edward Casimir on YouTube and Edulus on Discord.
And Ed the Willing on Twitter. And Ed Yersh in other places. Ed has multiple aliases. Okay.
I should tell you that this is all very laggy and asynchronous for me, so it's hard to communicate because I don't know what I'm responding to.
Well, you can't hear anybody else's voice but mine, right?
Yes, I can't hear anybody else's voice but yours.
All right. Well, maybe somebody else would like to try to log into the voice chat. Could be interesting. Now, what does it mean when I can't color inside the lines, even though I drew the lines? Even though I put the lines exactly where they are? Alrighty, haha, Ed sounds like he's got throat cancer. Whoa, that's harsh. Let's see. You'll stick to the written word. Fair enough. But you're on Discord. I wonder if I can just add Discord to the places that this stream goes to. So everybody, if I finish this drawing before the end of the stream, we can return to Orange, Sir Chadwick of Orange and Blue Dud. Oh, that was an interesting... I was forced against my will. You know, some people like it when that happens. They pay for it. Alrighty. Recall. What is that notification sound? Discord? Ed, what is this political tribes stuff?
Political Tribes, that's the audiobook that I'm listening to while I'm out door dashing. Very enlightening. I just heard you ask me the question again.
Huh. Well,
it's by a Chinese Vietnamese scholar, and it's her analysis that group identity is the primary driver of political trends and historical forces, and they must not be disregarded.
So what's the takeaway? Oof. That ain't it.
The takeaway is that it's very challenging to maintain a supergroup based on ideology, and she agrees with George Friedman, who says that the United States of America and other multi-ethnic, multilingual societies are historically new.
Yeah.
And we must not be blind to the great tectonic forces that ethnic group identity have on a nation. The U.S. has ignored those forces at its own peril, like in terms of its analysis of the Vietnam conflict and its intervention in Iraq and Afghanistan, and it must cease doing that. Be ethnically aware.
Right, but part of our ideology is that we're all the same. We don't see any distinctions that, the only distinctions we're allowed to see are ideological distinctions. To do otherwise is bigotry.
Yeah, and I think the Cold War, asynchronous here.
Well, it sounds like you've got a redundant audio channel open. I would suggest you mute everything except the Discord.
Okay, let me try that. I've muted the YouTube live chat. So I would say the whole orientation of the Cold War, which was perceived of as an ideological battle between communism and capitalism, freedom and authoritarianism, it helped make USA analysis centered around ideology. And she would also claim that willful blindness to the oppression of black people and Indian people, willful blindness to that also made it difficult for when US intervened in other countries to do the ethnic analysis, because everything was supposed to be based on ideological drives, ideological forces.
Yeah. And we tended to use the phrase Soviet Union and the Russians interchangeably. In fact, the Soviet Union contained, it was a multi-ethnic state, and a very large, geographically distributed multi-ethnic state. And the Soviet Army had trouble, forming up their units so that everybody spoke the same language and could understand each other. Or, there was enough overlap in language ability that somebody could translate so that everybody could get the message.
I think it's quite doable to form supergroups, multi-ethnic supergroups, where people feel an allegiance to something other than their primary nation, but it takes effort. I think they're doing it in Singapore, and the U.S. military succeeded in doing it. Like the fighting of the different ethnic groups together in World War II, in the American Army, helped fuse together that identity. And in Canada here, we've had like a very deliberate and active multiculturalism policy since at least the 80s. And I think with that sort of consistent effort, supergroups can cohere, but there's always the tendency to revert back to those easy tribal identities.
Right on. Right, I don't have a whole lot to add to that.
I do have to add from the book, she said that Trump rising to power was in part a response to identity politics. She quoted a white suburban soccer mom who said, "You want identity politics, we'll give you identity politics." So, like, the white people of America who were offended by the 90s and 2000 rise of political correctness and postmodern deconstruction and intersectionality, they roared back as a group.
Wow. It's funny to think of 90s political correctness. It was so mild compared to what we have now.
There's a funny Kids in the Hall sketch, which I'll share on the Discord general chat channel.
All right. I will not be able to play it on the live stream, as it will get me in copyright trouble with YouTube. Okay, let's see. So the temptation now is going to be to copy the pattern of shading in her face, but it wouldn't be in my style. So we'll do the face without really looking at the source.
I remember George Bush the first referenced political correctness in one of his speeches. So it was definitely a thing in the 90s.
Oh, I remember it being a thing. It just wasn't nearly as pervasive a thing as it is now. Like, it was confined to college campuses, and the tech sector wasn't nearly as developed as it is now. Somebody working in an HR department in a tech company wasn't nearly the powerhouse, the cultural powerhouse that they are now.
we're having a debate in our country now. You get at least one a month these days. But somebody at the University of Ottawa used the N-word in an academic context, examining the word, and some students complained, and that person was suspended. The professor was suspended, and now it's become a matter of public discussion to the point that it will be brought up in our House of Commons today. I think, yes, somebody from the Bloc Québécois will be defending the professor. Because, so it sort of shows very starkly where the lines are. Our Workers' Party, the NDP, which pushed very hard for very generous benefits for the pandemic compensation, they're the ones who are the most extreme on that side of the fence. It's so they're very. I'm sort of with them on the redistribution of wealth, but they lose me with their extreme wokeness.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing original to say. I'm not even sure who originally said it. It may have been me. I don't know. But, if I were pushing a right-wing cultural agenda, I would definitely be funding, surreptitiously funding academic positions in very woke institutions and, encourage the most extreme viewpoints, leftist viewpoints, social justice viewpoints in the faculty whose salaries I was subsidizing or, paying entirely. But the extreme college, social left carries more water for, right-wing causes than they dare understand.
I feel you.
Alrighty. And it's funny, that's a phrase, I feel you. That's a phrase I mostly associate with The Wire. And when I was watching The Wire, I was living quite near Baltimore, Maryland, which is where The Wire takes place. And I was working in an office or a call center in Newark, Delaware. And I regularly heard people unironically using the lingo from, that, what's the word I'm looking for? Baltimore lingo. And what's even funnier is that the people that I, learned it from, actors playing characters in the show, many of them were British, affecting this Baltimore accent. But others were actual cops and criminals that the showrunner knew from his time working at the Baltimore Sun newspaper. So I learned that Baltimore accent from like 3 sources. Actual Baltimore people who were on the show, British people doing excellent impersonations of a Baltimore accent, and real people from that area who worked in the same place I did. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
I've had The Wire recommended to me many times. I hear that it's very well written, but I prefer more science fiction-y. I associate Baltimore with the city that one of the characters on the Rocinante in The Expanse came from, which is one of the rundown cities of the basic economy. Familiar with that?
Yeah, which character is that? That's the tough guy character, right?
Yeah, the tough guy mechanic. It was Baltimore that made him tough.
What's his name?
Damn, I can see him, but I can't. I think his name begins with the letter A, but Amos,
right.
The mechanic. The good-hearted mechanic.
Good-hearted, but willing to employ violence as necessary.
Yes, otherwise he probably wouldn't be alive at that time, at that moment, if he didn't have that willingness.
Right.
And I have a question about politics. Maybe you know the answer.
Go ahead.
It has to do with defeating political enemies. Like there must be a theory of power, which is we must get the power to. We must this would be the idea. There's no bringing our political opponents onto our side. So in order to implement our agenda, we simply must defeat them and grab the reins of power. It's not possible to convince everybody, so there's no such thing as big tent, bring as many people to our side as possible. That's not our strategy. The strategy is attain power and implement our agenda and screw the people who oppose us. Is that how a lot of people actually perceive like political struggle?
Well, you're describing the mentality of the affluent, Democrats. That they don't want to talk about class, they don't want to talk about wealth inequality, they don't want to talk about trade or jobs, they just want to talk about race and gender because it allows them to be morally superior, and they don't have to do any of the hard work of trying to, win over people that they don't really like very much. But there were 7 million people who voted for Obama twice and then voted for Trump. And, the wealthy Democrats insist that those people just don't exist. They're hopelessly racist, and the fact that they voted for Obama twice just can't even be mentioned. But there's no point in reaching out to them. And, there's a certain logic, like a strategic operational logic behind that. There's more people living on the coasts than there are in the middle of the country. So just, in terms of raw numbers, the mainstream Democrats, they have the numbers. They don't have to, try to find common cause with people in the middle of the country. And it is just the electoral college system which, keeps the Democrats from having a permanent majority in all three branches of government at the federal level. Let's see.
I think I heard a third voice chime in.
I did too.
Sure that was Commando Expando.
Oh, I don't even know of a Commando
or
Expando.
Mr. Cool. There are currently 4 of us.
I see.
On the Out of Our Head server. Callum.
Yep.
Commando Expando. Me and you.
Callum is my son.
Oh, Callum.
Ohio.
Ohio gozaimasu. All right. Somebody chimed in with good morning in Japanese.
Ohio gozaimasu, Commando Expando. Are you Rodney from the YouTube live stream? I'm trying to uncancerify my voice.
Yeah.
Hey, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney. And trust me, I sound way worse in the morning.
Sounds like you've already got the YouTube channel muted. Good. Well, good to hear your voice, Rodney.
Good to hear your voice, Rodney.
Nope, now I hear it now.
Glad I do. I'm actually
I
just...
muted the YouTube channel that changed everything for me. That was a good suggestion, Kim. Mo.
What changed everything for you?
What changed everything for you?
Muting the YouTube audio.
Oh, yes. Yes, so Rodney, you'll need to mute your YouTube audio. That'll get rid of these echoes. Okay.
I'm also, I was just working on one of my characters, Bryce Armstrong.
Tell us of Bryce Armstrong.
There was this kid that was born with messed up hormones. They didn't really mind. They just did art, took care of their aunt and ma.
Mm-hmm.
And one day there was someone giving out cash for to help with an experiment. you know those test a new medication kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
So they entered hoping to get some extra cash.
Yeah.
They were them and a few other people were exposed. They were given a special pill and then exposed to a unusual radiation that over time gave them powers.
All right, somebody else needs to mute their audio. I'm still hearing echoes of me.
Oh, sorry, that's probably me holding the thing.
Is this a touch to talk sort of thing?
I'm actually using my phone.
Huh.
When they got their powers, it gave them elastic abilities, but it further messed up their hormones where they developed feminine curves.
So this is, are you reporting an actual case, or is this the fictional background of your character?
The fictional background.
Okay.
The condition they have is an actual condition. You could look it up. You can look it up. It's XXY syndrome.
Uh-huh.
What happened? So now they have to deal with not only their powers, but their body is basically a girl now. Cause like I like grew up with Stretch Armstrong, so
the toy?
The toy? Yes.
I had a Stretch
I used
Armstrong.
to have one. I bought one last year, and I can't. And by the God of me, I can't find it.
I had one in the 70s when I was in the third grade.
And I also kind of like the idea of this really short superhero taking on various evils, because what people don't realize was Wolverine is actually Wolverine is actually the shortest Avenger due to the fact Miss Marvel is no longer an Avenger. Wolverine is 5'4".
Well, I don't read the Avengers comic book, but when I was a kid...
That was mostly because of... most of that blame was mostly because of Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Because I remember them saying Hugh Jackman was 6 feet exactly.
Yeah, he's a tall fella. Doug Ray Scott was originally cast to play that role, and he's a bit shorter, I think. But then he had to drop out at the last minute because of shooting delays on the Mission Impossible movie he was in. And it's funny because that actor, Doug Ray Scott, was later on Fear the Walking Dead, and he didn't age nearly as well as Hugh Jackman did. So it's probably a good thing that Hugh Jackman got that role. All right, let's look for the alt.
Yeah, like Wolverine is technically 5'4".
Yeah, I read the X-Men comic book when I was a kid, back when John Byrne was the artist. Chris Claremont was writing it, and Wolverine was a very stocky, short little dude. Definitely not a tall, hunky Hugh Jackman type. All right.
Yeah.
So Rodney, are you in New York City?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Which borough?
Brooklyn.
Oh, right on.
Well,
What part of Brooklyn?
Flatbush.
Flatbush.
Huh?
Gotcha. I used to live
Where are you?
Well, I'm in Vermont right now, but I used to live in Brooklyn. I lived in Windsor Terrace, which is kind of near Prospect Park. It's right by Greenwood Cemetery.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. There's a Wendy's by there.
Yeah, I've eaten at that Wendy's. In fact, I was at that Wendy's with my kids one day when somebody recognized me, somebody I'd never met before, just walked up and started talking to me, and they knew who I was. I was like, whoa, this is weird. But he turned out to be a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Let's see. So this is a drawing challenge that I'm doing. It's something I found on Instagram. You know, it's draw this in your style. DTI or D Tiggs Laura Cat. So Laura Catronella or Catronella. All right. I need to spend some time on the hair here. So let's go up a bit and down quite a bit. All right. And I've kind of lost track of the text chat, so I'm going to check in with that in just a minute here. What was I going to do? Oof. What the heck? Now let's try that. Okay. All right. Well, Les seems to have departed. That, no, about that. Lovely. Let's see. Nope. What's going on?
I actually put a picture of them in general.
I saw that picture, Commando Expando Rodney, and I found a link to the condition that you spoke of, XXY.
Yeah. What do you think? I kind of like them. Like, they have a physique like Miss Marvel, not Carol, Kamala.
I think it's very of the moment because the theme of these times is gender bending, and he's definitely a gender bender.
Yeah, because I kind of like my idea of them of their gender not being completely fixed, but I also don't like Ranma. I know that sounds a little hypocritical.
Who is Ranma?
Ranma and a half, the same people who made Inuyasha. Because I kind of liked the idea that they have a very they have a girl's body. Although I kind of feel like they wouldn't be as slender as Miss Marvel, but they would be like. Am I making sense?
Well, my impressions of all of these characters are decades old. They've changed a lot in recent years, so I don't know what Miss Marvel looks like these days.
Let me see if I can find a picture of Miss Marvel.
Nope, don't like that.
You see Miss Marvel now?
Where would I see Ms. Marvel?
It's in general.
Okay, we're talking on voice channel right now, but there are two text channels on the out of our head server. One of them is general, and the other one is music. So he was referencing the general text channel. Right now I'm talking to you on the general voice channel. On Discord, of course.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't see Discord running on my computer anymore, but we must be. It must be if we're talking, right?
Well, I think you also have it on your phone, so you can also talk via your phone, as Rodney's doing. sometimes I see Discord in my bottom right tray on Windows 10.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yes, Ms. Marvel looks very, very different from when I became familiar with the character. Wow.
Yeah, there's a new Miss Marvel.
So she's got these enormous fists and forearms.
Yeah, she's elastic.
I see. Huh. Yeah, Marvel comics don't look much like they did when I was reading them as a kid.
Although, I would probably have Bryce around like 17, 18 and a bit, but noticeably curvier.
I don't know who Bryce is.
The character I just...
Bryce is Ms. Marvel? The same person?
No, look up in the chat.
I see.
One in the pink...
Yeah.
The one in the pink leotard.
Gotcha.
Like, they'd be like 17, 18 and a tad. Like, they morphed a mustache just because they don't like the hero mask, and they...
Rodney, you cut out mid-sentence there.
Oh, no, sorry. That's just me pacing. I tend to pace.
And what does that mean when you say you tend to pace?
I tend to walk around my room a
I
lot.
see. Physical pacing. Gotcha. I thought that was some term of art.
That's good if you have a Fitbit, or if you have that feature activated on the phone. You may find you walk a few miles a day pacing like that.
I might check that out.
I have a step counter on my phone, and what I've learned from it is that I don't take very many steps when I'm in my apartment.
As you know, I just started a walking routine. I gave up trying to access any of the indoor pools in my area. That's the way I get cardio exercise. But
wait, you have indoor pools?
We have public indoor pools all over the greater Montreal metropolitan area. And before the pandemic, I used to have my choice of them. A few of them were even free. You didn't even have to show an ID card.
Nice.
But there's only one that is open to non-residents in a town just west of me. But you have to reserve online, and it's always full. So decided I've just got to start walking. And Strava's really helping me because it helps me see, well, as you know, with what app you're using, just knowing how much I did yesterday and making the commitment to do a little bit more today, that I find that motivating.
Ooh, what's going on here? All right. Now here's something I normally don't do. But, oh wait, I need to put the wing in. Back to the rough layer. That's where I had it. So let's, how to do this. We'll go from the dark. Yeah. What's going on? Foreground to background. There we go. All right. So Wesley says, I pace too when I walk on the phone, when I talk on the phone. Yeah, I'll pace around when I'm talking on the phone, but most of what I do involves me just sitting here at this desk, which is a bummer, for sure. All right, everybody's quiet.
I'm going to share with the channel the items that I have reserved and waiting for me at our great provincial library. I'm going to go pick these up tomorrow. I'm very excited about some of them.
Right on. Are these books mostly?
They're mostly Blu-ray discs.
Ah.
I'm having seafood rice that I made.
Oh, enjoy. There's no obligation to keep talking. So, enjoy your seafood rice.
The first one is a documentary called Memory: The Origins of Aliens. A documentary from the director of 78/52, Hitchcock's Shower Screen. So I think this one is about the art design of the Aliens movies.
Nice.
Next, we have an animated movie called Superman Red Sun. It's an alternative universe story from Warner Brothers, directed by Sam Liu.
It's actually
And,
based on an Elseworld story.
Elseworld? Okay, I hadn't heard of Elseworld. Apparently it's what would have happened if Kal-El's craft had landed in Soviet Russia rather than in the USA.
I've heard of that.
And Superman became a champion of communism versus the American way.
Right, yep. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it. Alrighty. So now I'm going to go to the ink layer, and I'm going to start changing the color of some of these ink outlines.
You see, talking over voice versus communicating by text entirely changes the tone and tenor of what we're doing here, I find.
How would you describe the change of tone?
Well, it is a unique format, having you read out what we write.
Mm-hmm.
That's like always interesting. And we see that Les has dropped off. I think he described himself yesterday as Nikomori, which is the Japanese isolated internet-only socializer. So
Yes.
some people really prefer chatting, the less immediate, less nakedly vulnerable than voice.
Right.
So, also, I think when you read out the chat, what is it? There's a feeling of being honored.
All right. Well, this is an experiment. We don't have to stick with it.
Oh, I'm not saying one is... I'm not yet at the point of saying that one is better than the other. But I've been meaning to get my microphone set up on my PC, so this has been good motivation for me to do that.
Good. All right.
And yesterday, after our chat, a thought came to mind, an observation which I wish to share.
Uh-huh.
And it struck me that Filipinos strike me much less as an other than, let's say, Vietnamese, South Koreans, Japanese, mainland Chinese. By that I mean, like, I was raised in the Western tradition. And when I interact with Filipinos, I feel like they're sort of also of a Western mindset. Like, I can relate to them.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
often
you can
when I
thank the
interact
Catholic
with
Church
South
for that.
Koreans, often when I interact with South Koreans or Japanese or mainland Chinese, there really is a strong feeling of, okay, you come from another world.
Yeah. Particularly with Japanese and Thai for me. I think it's Buddhism versus Christianity.
It's amazing how much that informs the individual mindset of the people.
Yep. Although Japanese people aren't really particularly Buddhist. Normally, a Japanese person doesn't get interested in Buddhism until one of their parents dies. and then they have to take care of all the funeral arrangements, and then they suddenly get a crash course in the religious needs of the deceased. Oh, is that what I wanted? I'm going to say no. We want a darker color than that.
I remember hearing about a psychological study of mainland Chinese people, and the question went something like, what are the most standout memories of your life?
Mm-hmm.
And most of those memories tended to be group experiences, like the time my high school and I climbed the top of the mountain and saw the view in the distance, or when we hosted the Olympics and I watched the opening ceremony and I felt proud for my country. Whereas in the West, it's more individual, like personal experiences.
That makes sense. There was a, in the U.S., there's a magazine for young women called Teen, I think that's it, Teen Magazine. The Japanese equivalent was called Onaji, which means same. This was a manual for learning how to be the same as all of your peers.
Interesting. Yeah, so I evoke that to be, I think that's like a major difference between our cultures. The individual versus the collective.
Alrighty. So you see what I'm doing here, changing the line art color. It's tedious, but it has a pretty cool effect. What am I doing? Right.
I'm going to step away from my PC for a little bit, so I won't be around to apply until I get back.
Okay. So I'm going to program my TabMate here. I'm going to add a new command. What's free? How about the trigger? So go to TabMate, settings. All right, let's go with the trigger. Right now it's the eyedropper. Let's change that. So we'll make a menu command, and that menu is edit and convert to drawing color. Okay. Okay. So now, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the shoe down here. I can just grab all of that, squeeze the trigger, and there it is. Awesome. That's the beauty of the TabMate. All right, now let's get up and do the same with her hair, and then we'll be done, I think. Okay, but not the shoulder. So now, that. All right. And let's pick a color like that, but desaturate it a lot and make it darker like that. And boom! Yeah, there we go. All right. Grab all of this. Boom. Ha-ha! All right. Undo. All right. So now, all right, how about some red in the lips? Ooh, what happened there? I was drawing with color on the ink layer. That's what happened. All right. You know what? It's 11:01. I'm going to call this done. All right. And in 2 hours, I haven't saved once. Better do that now. Save. Oh, I did. I must have saved it at least once. Yeah, I did. Okay. But really, I don't want to save it. I want to export it. All right, well, I'm going to post that, I guess, to Instagram. Hey, thank you for this, Mr. K or Mr. The Willing. or Mr. Y. All right, everybody, I am stopping the stream.